Hey y'all, welcome to the Throttle podcast. I'm your host, Will Earnest, here today with
Mason Morgan. Once again.
Once again. I might have to change my logo or something. Evan is once again on house arrest. By house arrest, I mean his mom's making him stay at the house. Doing laundry. So, Spring Darlington for NASCAR's top 2 series in the books, but, well, kind of looking forward to next week, which is kind of opposite of what the previous episodes have been. Jesse Love making his Cup debut in the 33 car next week for RCR. I think he could do good, considering it's an RCR car on a short track.
I haven't really paid much attention to Xfinity or truck race because I've had a lot of stuff going this past weekend. Well, not even that, just every weekend as of late. And even then, I just never watched Xfinity or truck for some reason. But I will say something better than last weekend is I did watch the race today, and Will can vouch because he was there.
I was there. Yeah, our picks were kind of all over the board. Mason picked Chastain again, who finished 7th. Evan had a great day, picking Reddick to finish 4th. He was one of the only few guys to lead besides Byron, who led the first 243 laps from the pole. But Reddick finished 4th. I was stuck mid-pack with Bubba in 21st, and then Zach over there, he didn't do too great with Mr. Larson winning Best of Show with that Tony the Tiger scheme, and then promptly crashed that thing on lap 4.
And then did it again 4 laps left.
Yeah.
In the exact same spot, too.
Yeah. That was pretty impressive, crashing in the same spot.
You had to give everybody a taste of deja vu. It's almost like we've been here before.
Mason still leads the points by 43 over Evan, 63 over me, and get ready for this, 112 over Zach. Scored a grand total of 1 point today.
1 whole point.
Some other Xfinity news. Brandon Jones, he snapped his 98 race win streak, which his last win was at Spring Martinsville in 2022. It was almost 3 years to the day, which I think is pretty crazy. What I think is more crazy is that he's gone from Gibbs to Junior Motorsports, and now he's back at Joe Gibbs. He just keeps going back and forth. And Chase Elliott finished 2nd, so sorry, Haley.
Womp womp.
I can't really say much because she picked Bell, and Bell finished better than all of us. He finished 3rd, so I can't say much. Hocevar did not do that great either. He got caught up in an early spin, then he got caught up in a wreck with him and Riley Herbst. He finished 32nd. He did not do that great. So, and that's 4 30th or worst place finishes in the last 5 races.
And then Byron showing off that he is quite literally the CEO of the entire Gapplebee's company, leading how many?
He led the first 243 laps.
Yeah. And what was the furthest he got was over 3 seconds away from 2nd place?
He had a 5-second lead, but the thing is he didn't have the best car because when he caught the lap traffic, he was slowing down quite a bit. Logano was able to catch up to him, and Blaney was eating chunks away. So, and eventually once we finally had a legit green flag pit cycle towards the end of the race, they jumped Byron, which you could also attribute that to Byron staying out a little too long. Probably, just a few laps too long, and Bell was able to jump him, and then Reddick kind of took over for most of the remaining part of the race, and then Blaney, who had 8-lap fresher tires, ran Reddick down, and then as soon as he passed him with 4 laps to go, that's when, we all thought Larson spun. Really what it was Reddick, he got into the wall off of 2, and then that caused Larson to check up, and then Bubba was just right there and just ran into the back of him and spun Larson around. But it's funny because it was in the same spot as lap 4 when Larson originally crashed, so...
And can I just put something in real quick? I am so upset with Briscoe. He was doing so good at one point, and he finished, 32nd?
No, Hocevar finished 32nd. Briscoe finished 30th.
Yeah.
But after all that, with the Larson crash the second time, it set up the overtime restart. Hamlin actually won the race off pit road. They've been talking pit road all day, the speed of the pit crews. they showed the graphic early in the race that had Hamlin as the second best pit crew. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Hamlin jumps up to be the best pit crew. He came from third to first off of pit road, and just at that point he was the leader on a restart with fresh tires and clean air, so he just took off. And that's what decided it. So it's his 56th career win that breaks a tie with 11th on the list. He now owns 11th on the all-time wins list, breaking that tie with Rusty Wallace. And then, it's, of course, his second straight win, winning back-to-back. It's weird because last week in Martinsville, he led almost three-quarters of the race, and then this week he led a grand total of 10 laps at Darlington out of the 293, but, once Byron lost the lead, he was kind of screwed, but he still managed to recover a little bit on the overtime restart and finish second. Haley did the best of us in third. Evan picking Reddick was in fourth, and then, we were kind of all over the place. Mason with Chastain was in seventh, Bubba with me being in 21st, and then, of course, Zach was in the back after Larson crashed, and then it was 160 laps down, and then crashed again, so.
He made a bit of a mistake choosing Larson. Just a little bit. Needless to say, he wasn't very happy in our group chat.
Well, he finally answered in our group chat after we texted him a bunch.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't think he watched. I don't even think he watched the race.
No, I guarantee you he did not watch. If he would have watched, he would have been texting us furiously at like 2:15 p.m.
He would have been texting the moment the race started. Quite literally, because that's when his racer went bad.
Yeah, pretty much. So
he clocked in a few minutes of playtime and decided he's done too much, so he crashed his car to get a few laps of break. Just a few laps.
Just 160 laps. It's okay.
He needed a rest, so he crashed the car.
Yeah. But even with the unfortunateness of, that Larson's car, it still won Best of Show as the best throwback scheme, at least in the Cup Series. So, good job. You can design a car. Too bad you couldn't design Chase Elliott's throwback.
God, that was so bad. I was just about to say that, too.
And then Chase and William Byron, they were trying to dog on throwback weekend, They're trying to play it down. It's like, yeah, of course Chase is going to dog it with his bad throwback scheme. But, in general, why would anybody just look down on throwback weekend? It's, it looks cool, but, number one, it's for the fans. And number two, it's meant to honor, NASCAR's past and all that with the heritage and history behind it. So, at one of NASCAR's oldest tracks, Darlington, turns 75 this year, So, I don't know why anybody would think that Throwback Weekend should go away or disappear. It's great. The fans turn out for it. And it gives the Spring Darlington race its own character, because the fall race is just the Southern 500, So, speaking of this Haley, you might be wondering, who is this? Who is this girl?
Somebody's got a girlfriend.
I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far, but there's a little fun trip that we're gonna have here. Me and Mason here. We're gonna go down to Talladega at the end of April.
Big ol' announcement right here, boys and girls. Big ol' announcement.
Yep.
We get to go to Talladega. We get to see Ricky Bobby.
Yeah. Yeah.
You already know we're watching Talladega Nights in that room.
Yeah, so, but I met this girl and we were snapping and all that, and then I got her number, but, we've been talking, and her mom, she was just she wanted to buy us a hotel room and tickets and all that, so, I've gone from not knowing this girl to a week later, now we're going to Talladega, so, I'll take it, personally, so. And I'm very grateful for that, even when, they first brought it up, it's I didn't expect, somebody else paying for my hotel room or race tickets or anything, but now we get to go, we get to go down to northern Georgia, it's right near Dawsonville, where, of course, Chase and Bill Elliott are from, and then, we'll ride down to Talladega, so. It'll be a long drive, but it'll be worth it. So, and I get to take Mason with me.
Yeah, buddy.
Get to go to the Buc-ee's and the Bass Pro and all that. So, some other bonus news. I guess a good job on NASCAR for them finally taking like 2 years to admit that Fontana needs to be put on pause when like all they've done is just sold the land and demolished a lot of the track. They haven't like built anything or anything, so yeah.
They forgot to call the contractors. They've been all snoozing on the job.
It's not looking too good for Fontana, but you talk to NASCAR all the time and they're like, oh, we need to be in the Southern California market. We're going to be in the Southern California market.
We got a hammer right here. We could go build Fontana real quick. We got this. Got one single hammer and 2 dudes.
One singular hammer to build Fontana would probably be done faster than what NASCAR is doing.
It would be, but I'm pretty sure the moment one single tire touches the track, it all collapses on itself.
Probably.
Especially if it was us two doing it.
Yeah, that's why we are not building contractors. But it's sad.
We're not in student-built homes, buddy.
It really is sad though, because Fontana was just, the pavement was like perfect. It was a perfect aged pavement, and it was such a wide track. It's like we don't really like, what wide track is there on the NASCAR Cup Series schedule today? Because like Atlanta, when they reconfigured it, it got shortened up. Kentucky had a really wide track, but then they shortened up and then just stopped going to Kentucky. Fontana's like gone basically, Maybe it'll come back, but knowing NASCAR, it'll take the rest of the decade to do that. Like, there's not really any wide tracks on the schedule. I mean, I guess Talladega, but like...
I can already see the signs put up right now. They're at Fontana's right now, putting up signs coming spring 2032. Right now, I'm telling you.
It's more unlikely that NASCAR will actually get Fontana done than like Trump running for a 3rd term.
God, he hasn't even gotten that officialized yet, has he? All right, boys and girls, this is the new
the
Republican
U.S. Constitution
podcast.
states you can't even run for a 3rd term. That was passed in like 1951. After FDR ran or had 4 terms. Anyways, looking ahead to a major weekend next weekend, you got NASCAR with all 3 top series at Bristol. You got NHRA with the first of 3 of their 3 4-wide races with the 4-wide at Vegas, and then you got IndyCar on the streets of Long Beach, which is their 50th anniversary for that event. And then you got the local racing back at the Davenport Speedway down the road.
Buddy.
Back on Friday night. I'm probably going to be there.
I have a very big confession to make.
Oh, God.
I have never, ever been to a Davenport Speedway race.
All right, I'm taking you.
I've been to local races in Tipton at the Cedar County Fairgrounds.
Yeah.
Well, one local race. That was for the sprint car.
Yeah.
And my racer won, number 99. I don't know what his name was, but he won. It was also like 7 or 6 years ago. I asked my dad if we could get a funnel cake because my racer won. He said no, and I cried. Then I asked him if I could go on one of the rides since my racer won. He also said no. Then I cried again.
Plus, in addition, with all the motorsports next week, it's Masters Week next weekend. So me and my grandpa are going to be watching it like we always do. It's going to be great. That's all the time we got today, so make sure you go check out the Instagram at Throttle the 4 Podcasts. Go listen on Spotify and actually now Apple Music, because Evan and Zach were complaining that I didn't have it on Apple Music, so I went in there and clicked the button to get the apply to put the podcast on Apple Music. I don't know if it's on there because I don't use Apple Music, but
quick announcements. We might be getting video soon.
Yeah.
I do have a camera, but the thing is, I don't want to have to spend money on getting new SD cards, and I'm already halfway through the one that came with the camera. But we might be getting phone mount or 2 to set phones up on. We've got tripods. We got 2 of them actually, but we might get a phone mount or 2 to hook them up under the tripods.
Yeah.
And so we won't be using my phone because I'm a pathetic little Android user.
Yep. So yeah, we might have video podcasts within the next week or 2, so that episode will
Thank you to Amazon to having literally everything from phone camera mounts to ramen noodles.
Yeah, so be on the lookout there in the next week or two with hopefully some video. We'll have the YouTube channel where like it'll have like the first 6 or 7 episodes on audio, and then it'll have video from there on out. So yeah,
we'll make animations for the first few. I swear. No, we won't. No, we won't. No, we won't. Well, we could hire somebody.
No, I'm not paying money. I'd pay enough money, thank you.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. Besides, I don't even know if they'd let us do that. I don't know if you can go in and add a video or not.
I don't know. So
we'd have to re-upload the first few episodes just to do that. So it's a waste of time.
I don't know. Just be on the lookout for video updates with the YouTube channel stuff potentially, and then just follow the Instagram at Throttle the Floor Podcast, and listen here on Spotify and hopefully on Apple Music. Hopefully it uploaded. I'm not sure whether it uploaded just the last episode or it uploaded all of the episodes, so y'all will have to check that out yourself at your own risk. But regardless, all the episodes are on Spotify, so thank y'all for tuning in today to this episode of the Throttle the Floor Podcast. Thank you for Mason for almost damn near becoming my new co-host.
It's been a pleasure.
So, see y'all next time.